people around the world took to the streets today to demand that leaders tackle climate change. Here at home, dozens gathered outside of City Hall in downtown St. Louis.
Hey, hey! Whoa, fossil fuels have got to go!
It's called the Global Climate Strike Movement. Local organizers called this gathering Climate Strike St. Louis. Participants were encouraged to disrupt business as usual by joining the movement or mobilizing with other forms of nonviolent resistance. The demonstrations come 3 days before the United Nations Summit on Climate Change in New York City. More than 800 events are planned in the U.S. following massive protests overseas. Many of the demonstrations are inspired by the teen climate activist Greta Thunberg. All week, we've been taking a look at how climate change is affecting all of us. Our partners at NBC News have been taking us all over the world for a close-up look at the ecological changes threatening our planet. But there's groundbreaking work in biodiversity and conservation underway right here in St. Louis.
We have a worldwide network now. We have had more than 275 graduates with master's degrees or PhDs who have come from 38 different countries.
That's Dr. Patricia Parker from the University of Missouri St. Louis talking about the Harris World Ecology Center in St. Louis. The center brings together researchers at UMSL, the Missouri Botanical Garden, and the St. Louis Zoo to promote research and training in basic ecology and biodiversity conservation all over the world. Students come from their home countries to St. Louis, study at the center, earn advanced degrees, and go back to their home countries to provide their expertise. One of those students who graduated with a PhD is Dr. Fidi Rassambenarivo. He's an expert in biodiversity, studying how diseases in humans and domesticated animals are threatening lemurs and other indigenous animals in Madagascar. I spoke with him this afternoon from his lab in Madagascar via Skype.
We're getting close, as in we now know how much risk there is from that. So that allows us to take action and to try to further the research and try to know more precisely how can we limit those interactions. So we are getting closer.
Dr. Rassambenarivo says conservation is a long-term goal and progress can take years. In the meantime, he's worried about the immediate threats posed by climate change. He's particularly troubled by the destruction of the rainforest and yesterday's report that shows there are nearly 3 billion fewer wild birds in North America than there were in 1970. The new study finds the bird population in the U.S. and Canada was probably around 10 billion nearly half a century ago and has dropped 30% or 29% rather to about 7.2 billion birds. The study's lead author says the thinning of the flocks is happening before our eyes, but it's so slow we don't often notice it.